Hello. How's everybody doing? Looks like it's just me and you, Cement Shoes. How's it going? This one's not a very long one. Um, it's a sad one. They're all sad, but this one's particularly sad. And I just this one this one was just sad. And it's not it like I said, it's not a real super long one. I kind of wanted to let people know some stuff that's coming up for the with the channel and like new things that I'm going to be doing and some old things that I'm going to be bringing back and all that stuff before I get started on the case tonight. Um let me get oriented. I don't even know what I'm doing right now, honestly. All right. I have to have my notes because, hey, Molson man, how are you? Good evening. Because you know how I'm always disorganized and I got the ADDs and I'll be getting distracted. So I'll have to have my notes or I'll forget where I was, what I was talking about. But one of the things that I'm going to be bringing back is obviously my coverage of the West Memphis Three. I don't know if you guys saw the community post, but I was on the Armchair Detective Blue, his channel last night, and it was a really good. I thought it went really well. It was a good stream. He's a little the way that he's presenting the case is a little bit different than the way I'm presenting it because obviously we're two different people. So it was cool. He brought up a lot of he asked me a lot of really good questions that I hadn't thought about. I put it on my community tab, Cement Shoes. You gotta sometimes, hey, Sugar Beet. I've noticed that the YouTubes, they're not only sometimey, but I feel like low key, they instigate and won't give notifications. So what I have to do every, I don't know, at least once a month is unsub and then resubscribe. I don't even think that's a word, but whatever. Subscribe again and then check the or hit the all button or bell or whatever the heck it's called, that thing. Because for whatever reason, they just don't, even if you keep your app up to date or whatever, I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like it's low key instigating, but it is what it is. So yeah, we had it was a really good, it was a really good live stream, I thought. Um, and like I said, there was a lot of really, he asked me a lot of really good questions and, a lot of things that I hadn't thought about in a while because I'm still like presenting the investigation portion of the case. So I thought it was, it made me think, that's for sure. But anyway, hey Team Psych Ward, good to see you, babe. So what I want to do is start going back uh to the West Memphis story. I want to keep covering that, but I think I want to change it up just a little bit. I think for the most part, as far as the case goes and the investigation of the case, I think that that's been pretty well covered so far. I don't know, you guys let me know in the videos, but there's still two like huge elements that I want to cover. Obviously, one would be the alibis, and I decided a different way to present it that I think will be better and easier to understand. And then the other part is the evidence. So, what I want to do with that is obviously go through all of the um, reports from the crime lab, but I'm only going to be dealing with the reports from 93, 94, because obviously that's the part of the case that we're interested in. So I think what I'm going to do Monday, I'm going to start back Monday, is sort of do like a refresher and have it be, maybe an open panel where we can all talk and ask questions. And I'd like to do that because I'd like to get a gauge of what you guys are interested in me covering as it pertains to that case. And of course, I love interacting with everybody, so that's the plan for Mondays. And then, of course, I'm going to keep doing the 12 horrors of Christmas on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on Wednesdays, I'm still doing the whatever happened to. And the next case I'm going to do is the Long Island Lolita case, Amy Fisher, and of course, Mary and Joey Buttafuoco. So that's coming up on Wednesday. You know what, Cement Shoes? I'm so glad that you brought that up. And maybe we'll just chill here for a while and do this for a little bit, because this is what I really want to, I love the West Memphis 3, that case fascinates me. So I have a bit, what did I say, Molson Man? Did I not say Mary Jo? Sorry, Mary Jo Buttafuoco. I'm sorry. My brain is somewhere, I don't know. I think I have 11 billion tabs or something open, but yes. So Mary Jo Buttafuoco. Anyway, so I've been thinking about that specific situation and with the neighbor. And if I remember correctly, did I say Marianne? Oh my gosh, Lord. Whew. It's only Tuesday. Anyway, so, okay. The deal with that is Mary Jo Letourneau. Let's just mash them all in together, right? So where that neighbor lived, okay, was in Stevie Branch's neighborhood. I'm going to have to bust out the map to be 100% sure, but since we're just kicking it right now, waiting for everybody to come in and get comfy and all, I feel like the right answer is that the street that cut through both neighborhoods was Barton, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm not very good with maps, but that's what I think. But anyway, so he lived on the other side. Okay, so his house was considered a separate neighborhood. So what the West Memphis police were doing when they were canvassing the neighborhood that they're talking about, yes, she did. The neighborhood that they're talking about that they canvassed would be where Chris and Michael lived. Okay. But not only did they canvass that specific neighborhood, the other element we're forgetting is the Mayfair Apartments, because it's not there anymore. But that's where they were concentrating, because that's the assumption from the West Memphis Police Department early on in the investigation, was that the perpetrator of the crime, because remember in the beginning, they weren't even so sure that where the bodies were recovered was the actual crime scene. So, but their assumption was that the perpetrator likely entered on the neighborhood side. And they also felt that the boys, because they were known to play over there, that's why they focused so heavily on that neighborhood. And it wasn't ever, hello, Amelia Sparkles. How you doing? Thanks. Welcome. Come on in. So because of that, they really focused on Christopher Byers and Michael Moore's neighborhood. And it wasn't really public that they actually never did canvass the neighborhood that Stevie Branch lived in. In fact, I find that even more interesting, because we all know, right, that after school, Christopher Byers was MIA for a substantial amount of time considering his age. Okay, it's like an hour where they don't know where he was. And the only for sure sighting. There's two. There's Bobby Posey, and then who was a neighbor. He played with him quite frequently. And then there's Pam Hobbs, who said that he came over shortly after Michael and Stevie had took off on their bikes, right? And she was surprised that they didn't run into each other. So it makes you wonder, first of all, when when Michael and Stevie left the Hobbs house, what direction were they headed? Number one. And number two, where did Christopher Byers come from to miss seeing Michael and Steve? And also, Christopher Byers wasn't even allowed to be playing over there in the first place. He wasn't. Mark Byers talks about it in his May 19th interview that he didn't even know where Stevie Branch lived because he'd been told somewhere else, because Chris wasn't allowed to be on the other side of I think it's Barton. I feel like Barton is the right answer, but for sure, when we really like back into it on Monday, I'm definitely will have looked at a map probably repeatedly, and I'll probably have to have help, because just kidding. It's pretty straightforward. This part of it anyway. Like, I couldn't navigate by a map, but I can read a map. So anyway, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and just play the intro to the 12 Horrors of Christmas, and then we will get started. Let's everybody cross their fingers and their toes and their legs that this works and doesn't cause me to lose audio. Ready? Here we go.
Christmas, you filthy animal.
All right. Uh-oh. feel like this one's going to give me an issue. Oh, there we go. Good. It did it. Okay. So, audio's still good. Everything's still good. I can't tell. Yeah. Oh, I can see my little bubble moving. Yes. Okay. Everything is going so well. Hi, Sam. I didn't see you sneak in, but hello. Okay. Yes, cement shoes. I that's my favorite part of the whole video. It's like it's only like 3 seconds and it's my favorite. Okay, good. Okay, so the case that we're going to talk about tonight is the case of Stephanie Kilhefner Klopp and Dustin Klopp. So these two this is them in obviously happier times. They're married. They weren't married for very long. Stephanie was 34 and Dustin was 36. So they also had 2 kiddos, ages 5 and 2. All right. So this is what happened on. Hey, Angela P. How's it going? Hey, Anaphylaxis. Okay. So what happened is on December 24th, obviously Christmas Eve, 2014, in Paradise Township, Pennsylvania, at about 10 p.m., there was a domestic argument. That's the way that it was put. Okay. That's how they reference it in all the articles and whatnot. Anyway, so there was this domestic argument between Stephanie and Dustin, and it escalated. And there isn't much more than that known as far as what the reason behind what they were arguing about on Christmas Eve was. There's not a whole lot known about that. But they did. Okay. And people have speculated because I feel like it was the day before, the 23rd, somewhere in that vicinity. Stephanie had made a post on Facebook about the being mindful of your words and how they can hurt, and bullying. Okay. So it's not clear if she was just making a post, right? Or if it was a post, hey, Amy, specific to a situation that was occurring between her and her husband. All right. So they get into this, this argument. All right. And then it escalated. And Dustin admitted that he knocked her unconscious. He cut her throat with a knife. And then he beat her about the head with an axe. All right. So this is all Christmas Eve. All right. The night that everything's, just supposed to, so sad. Anyway, so the kids were in bed. They're waiting for Santa, like 2 and 5-year-olds do. Hold on. Let me take a drink. All right. So so the kids were in bed and waiting for Santa, and this argument ensues. So after he has killed her and beat her quite savagely with this axe, and it's all to the head, all the blows from the axe were to her head. Anyway, he cleaned up all of the blood, right? And then he took her body and he moved it to a shed on their property. So let me push play on this because I want you guys to see the house. This was their wedding photo, by the way. Oh, dear. Yes, cement shoes. That's what I thought about when okay, hold on. Oh, it is playing. Crap. I think I went past the house. Hold on. Thank you, Shmita. Okay, so there is This is the house. And I don't know if I don't know how to make this bigger, but if you can see my little pointer. Okay. Oh no, of course you can't. Back behind the tree there is behind the property. You can see the shed, and that is where he put her body. This was in 2014, Amy. You're barely late. I just barely started talking about this. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. So he moved her body to the shed, okay, and put it in like some kind of a bag. Anyway, that's what he did. So then Christmas morning comes, as it's, time still keeps moving. So Christmas morning arrives, and Dustin took the kids over to his parents' house. And let me just say this first. There is no evidence that the children were witnesses to anything. So they were unaware of what happened to their mother. But anyway, so Christmas morning comes, he takes the kids over to his parents' house. He spends, he celebrates Christmas with his kids and his parents and his family. And nobody said anything like, why isn't Stephanie here? Anything? No, it's so very bizarre because there were no like alarm bells or anything. So then Dustin calls the police at about 5:20 p.m. and he confesses and says he wants to turn himself in. So the police then arrive at the home, okay? And obviously they discover Stephanie's body in the shed exactly where he said it would be. And at 6:30 p.m., Dustin went down to the police station and he turned himself in. He was charged with homicide, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with or fabricating evidence. Okay. And there he sat. No, Molson, man, there's a very little known about this case, and you're about to understand just exactly why. Hey, chicken lady, how's it going? Hope your foot's feeling better. So he's then, he's charged, he's awaiting trial, right? So February 27th of 2015, they discover him in his jail cell. He has self-harmed by hanging. All right. And he ended up being brain dead. And he finally was completely declared dead on March 1st of 2015. So this is why not a whole lot is known, because it didn't have a chance to go to trial yet. So that's the story. There's a whole, hey Momo, that's the story. There's not a whole lot known about this case. I just wanted to do a little quickie for tonight. It's an awful case. So that's what happened. Christmas will probably, never be the same. And he took the details to his grave. Now he did, okay, according to, one of the officers or the detectives, he did give a reason. Okay. But, the officer or the detective, when asked, said, yeah, he told me why he said, yeah, he told me why he did it, but what difference does it make? It's not going to bring her back. And it doesn't, it doesn't even make any sense. It's not justified. It's not going to make you understand what happened. So whatever he ended up, Molson, man, I would have thought too that they would be, and they probably were. But the thing of it is that when he self-harmed that way and had not gone to trial yet, because he was awaiting trial, when he did that, everything just stopped. And I would imagine that if people were interested in it, they may be able to do a FOIA request and maybe get some of the investigative stuff. But you know how it can be tricky whenever you're talking about, oh, surviving the storms. What up, Dorothy? How you doing? Thanks for becoming a member, doll. So that, hold on. I got too many things. Well, I will say this. As far as Dustin goes, he did have a bit of a rap sheet. He did he did serve some time for resisting arrest, DWI, a few drug offenses, but nothing, a burglary, but nothing like violent or anything like that. That's, so yeah. Hold on a second. Let me let me focus on my exhibits. Okay, so there's the house. I mean, it's so unassuming. Okay, and this is Stephanie. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. And then this is Dustin. Obviously, that is his mugshot. So that is my 12 horrors of Christmas for December. I don't even know what's today. Is today the 14th? Yes, December 14th. We still have several more stories to go that are all sad. Some of them you guys will know, obviously, but some of them will probably be new to you. And Dorothy, yes, what Molson Man said, you are, you need to go nights and rest up. Bless your heart. Yes. Well, that was their wedding picture. So I guess, see, I had never heard of this case either. When I thought about doing um, this, I can't, it's not like an original idea. Okay. Let's be honest, because obviously Oxygen does their series. I feel like it's called Homicide for the Holidays. But what I did was I went to yes, that one is going to be in it, Amelia. Yes, I will definitely be doing that. Okay, so I'll just tell you guys the ones I'm doing. All right, so I am doing the Sauter family murders, Charlie Lawson, obviously the Ken and Barbie murderers, and John Bonet. Those are just a taste because I got to have some surprises for you guys. This happened in Paradise Township, Pennsylvania, Anaphylaxis. So, hold on a second. Excuse me. No audio again. Okay. Are you sure, Ward? Team Psych Ward? Because I can hear me. Okay. All right. I'm not going to be listening to you anymore, Team Psych Ward. Because then I got all panicky and I was like, I don't know yet, Amy. I feel like, I don't know. If you want me to, I will. I'll write that down. I'll write it down. I'll cover that one if you guys want. Okay. So, see, now I'm all thrown off again. Yes. Well, I wanted to cover that one, Molson, because I obviously what the very first homicide that they committed was on Christmas Eve, and it was her sister. So I definitely wanted to cover that one. But I will, yes, I will absolutely. I'm writing it down right this second. I know what you meant, Amy. I know you didn't mean it like that. Okay, I'm writing it down. Let me scroll right quick to where you were. Hold on, so I can write it down. Hold on. Oh yes. Oh yes. Why can't I find it where she wrote that? Okay, I got it now. Anyway, so yeah, all of these are so sad, and because this is obviously true crime, and obviously you would be amazed at alls I did. Okay, when I hit up the Googles, right? So all I typed was homicides at Christmas, and it's so sad how many there are. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the Coleman one because I owe you guys one because I dipped on Thursday because I wasn't feeling good. So I owe you an extra one. So maybe what I'll do is like one night do two cases that are somewhat similar, right? So that we'll still stay on track. You guys will get your 12 um 12 horror stories because I want to be, you know, want to live up to my word. But I don't know for you guys that are just coming in. What I wanted to let everybody know is that I'm still continuing the what happened to Wednesdays, and so tomorrow night is I'm going to be covering. I hope you're listening, Surviving the Storms, because this one's for you, girl. The Amy Fisher, Mary Jo, and Joey Buttafuoco case for you, the Long Island Lolita. And in preparation for that, there are two movies that came out. One is Casualties of Love. That's the one with Alyssa Milano. That is Joey Buttafuoco's version. It's his side of the story. And if you'll give me un momentito, I will Google the other one that I wrote down or didn't. I looked up but forgot to write down because that's how I roll, unorganized. All right, hold on. And then the other one is just the Amy Fisher story, and that's the one with Drew Barrymore, and you can find them. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So, when we for you. So, yeah, I mean, Christmas is like super stressful. Like people don't understand how um I didn't like when I was a kid, I didn't get it. I didn't understand how stressful it could be, and I didn't understand the pressures. For me it was Christmas. I was a kid. We opened up presents, Santa and all and I got to see my family. Okay? But then I grew up and became an adult and had kids of my own. And let me just say this. It's not for me, it never was like the shopping and whatnot. Like I liked all that part and the wrapping of the gifts and all that. And I love seeing the kids open their presents Christmas morning and how excited they were, and their little faces would light up, and then running into the bedroom when, because they were little and they had the little footy PJs and they were just so stinking cute, right? That wasn't the pressure part. The pressure part was dealing with the family. And I would twist myself in knots trying to get, the kids settled, right? Like they had to do their Christmas, and then everybody had to, people need to eat. So getting them breakfast and getting them ready to go, right? And then plus I have to get myself ready. So, it's a lot. And so after doing that for, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years or whatever, we just decided, listen, we're just going to chill at the house and do Christmas just us because, you know, it's too much pressure. You think it's meant to be fun. And I don't know when it got to be that way where causes anxiety and such pressure because, I mean, for Pete's sake, these are people you lived with your whole life. And I don't know, maybe, every family has a little dysfunction, and there are some homes obviously that are more dysfunctional than others, but it's just too much. It's too much. No, sugar beet, I didn't. That's crazy. So yeah, Dorothy, come chill, come hang out with me tomorrow night at 9 our time, East Coast time. I'm going to cover that case. So yeah, that's awful. Fargo's a good movie. Did anybody watch the show Fargo on FX? I thought the first season was really good. I wasn't a fan of the second season. I didn't even watch the second season. Like I did I watch that one? I feel like I don't know, but they were good anyways. It's been a long time. You should check it out. They're actually good. I feel like I'm thinking of True Detective because I feel like I skipped around or something on that one. But anyway, they were actually really good. The first season was really, really good. Um, and so was the season, I think it was 3, the one with FX Cement Shoes at it. The one with Ewan McGregor was really good too because he had 2 roles, and he was really good. I thought the storyline was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. And then of course the first season is which was difficult for me because why'd you hide this, Shmita? We need to be removing that, babe. Hold on. Anyway, so anyways, for what where I was going with that. Oh, the one of the main characters in the first season of Fargo is why can't I think of the actor's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. He was young Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbit, that trilogy that started with the unexpected journey. So it was kind of a little bit just it was a little I kept I kept thinking about the like every once in a while the line from the movie from just because that's you guys know how I am anyway. But yeah, so anyway, they're both good shows. But if you want to watch Amy Fisher's stories, if you head up the Googles, it'll tell you where you can watch them if you want to be prepared for tomorrow night's episode. And then of course, the other thing I wanted to tell everybody that wasn't in here right when I was talking about it, because I was kind of just kicking it, is that I'm going back to doing covering the West Memphis 3, but I think that on Mondays, and I think that I want to, for Monday's episode, I'm going to sort of go back over some stuff, fill in some holes that I feel are there. And then I wanted to do after that, like do an open panel so that we can have some question and answer part, because I want to get a feel for what about the case you would like for me to discuss, what you want, to know more about. Yes, Emulsion Man, I agree. The one with Alyssa Milano is the better one, but I feel like those are they're told from two different viewpoints. So the one with Alyssa Milano is Joey Buttafuoco's story. Yeah, she did do some time in jail, cement shoes, and then the Drew Barrymore one is sort of, I wouldn't say it's necessarily from Amy Fisher's perspective, but I think the way that she's portrayed, Amy Fisher's portrayed with in the Drew Barrymore one is a little softer than the Alyssa Milano one, but I like the Alyssa Milano one the best too. So it's online. You can find it. It's still you can watch it if you want to, if y'all feel like it. I think I'll probably do that tomorrow because that's how I roll. But anyway, that's sort of my plan. Of course, I'm going to keep doing, the 12 horrors of Christmas, and then I'm going to the other thing that I was thinking of, and you guys let me know what you think about this because we've sort of been kicking this around. And I'm glad that Sam's here too, because this is important. I guess Shmita dipped. I don't know how to make it where, hold on, why my background isn't showing, but there she is. Anyway, so, Amy, thank you so much. So much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm very, very, the ADD is very bad today. I'm very distracted. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. So, the other thing we were talking about is, we are all fascinated with this. I know I'm not going to say her name right. Is it Ghislaine or Ghislaine Maxwell? Her trial that's coming up. And so, our very, very own Samantha Dunn is excellent at the backstory and all the subtle nuances. But what I thought we might could do is I could give you a recap of the things that have gone on that week in the trial, and then have Sam come up and explain why certain evidence is being shown, why certain witnesses are being spoken to, and help put the puzzle pieces better together for us. So, okay, I see Cement Shoes that you're trying to help me spell phonetically, and I'm thinking that it must be G-Lane. I don't know. Now I'm confused. Listen, I'll hit up the Googles, right? I'll hit her name, and then I'll hit pronounce. I'll figure it out. Right. So that's what I was thinking. And from what I just, how I be monkeying around on the tubes, on these YouTube streets, and Samantha knows her stuff, and she's so good. Oh, Ghislaine, like that. Is that right? Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay. Because I don't want to mispronounce it and sound ignorant. So she's really good at it. She's well versed, and on top of that, she's really good at explaining it in a way that is super makes sense. She connects all the dots. She's great. So I thought that we would do that. So maybe on, say, a Saturday or something, or maybe a Sunday. You guys tell me what is convenient for you, because obviously I'm going to have to watch the trial uh, during the week and take notes and all that business. So yeah, she probably does cement shoes, but you know how I roll. I try to. I don't want to. You know, I don't want to mispronounce words. It's it, or make. Sometimes I just make up my own. But yeah. Anyway, so I thought we could do that, and so I'm excited for that, and I'm really, 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 really excited that Sam has agreed. And I think we're definitely going to probably have to do it on a weekend, because our sweet Sam is Irish and in Ireland, and her time is off. And so thank you, Faraway Eyes. So sweet of you. Thank you very much. So I'm glad that that you're keeping on top of it, because I'm fascinated by it too. And I don't know all of the little things. So I want to do it maybe um, like a Saturday afternoon, because for our people that are not located in the United States, with the time zone, with the times and everything, and that way, um, and plus I want Sam, and like because she knows all the things. I'm super excited for that. Thank you, Molson man. I'm excited about it. When AD um sent me a message and said, or let me know, hey, I'm looking into the West Memphis 3 case, which is funny because way back to Juju Island, when there was Juju Island, and everybody was still on Watts Island before I had escaped the island, right? Um, they do, I think, cement shoes, but I don't think that they call it that. I think it's called something else. But yes, they do have a Supermax, or it's similar to a Supermax. But anyway, I talked to him about the West Memphis 3 case, right? And I kept telling him, listen, you can't be like either yes, before Wells Island, which I'm done with that island too. It's so messy. But anyway, I was like, you either have to be in it or you have to be out of it. Like you can't, it just sucks you in, right? So, Chicken Lady had messaged me and she said, "Hey, AD wants to do it, do the case, and he wants to have you on Monday." And I was like, "Oh, I was so excited! I was so excited!" And so I did that last night. And listen, I tried to bring some of you people along. I said, "Listen, this island ain't no good. Things are about to get very bad on this island. Let's all go." And some people said, "Hey, Jen Lou might know what she's talking about. Let's go." And they went. And then others of you were like, "Oh, but no, I got one more question. Oh, I got one more question." So, yeah, I tried. I tried to rescue you guys. I tried. So, anyway, so when he did like, I think two or three episodes, I feel like 2 or 3 nights. No, because I was the third night. I feel like I don't remember, but anyway, I watched them all. Okay, but the first night I was like, I was participating in the chat, and then I was like, no, I need to listen. If I'm typing, I can't be listening. So he played some stuff that got my wheels turning again, and connected some dots for me that either I can't honestly say whether it's new dots, because I've been through the case file before, but you know how that is. Sometimes it just takes somebody else presenting the information for it to click. And there were a lot of things that clicked that day. And so I wanted to, talk about it with you guys. And yes, cement shoes. Yes, all the way through the Rona, the riots, and not a day off. Thank you, Anaphylaxis. I really love that name, by the way. It's so clever. I love it. Thank you so much. But yeah, so it made some connections for me, and click some dots or connected dots and set some light bulbs off that I kind of want to talk about with you guys, and see how you guys feel. And I've literally, okay, listen, I'm not going to be bougie or uppity and pretend like I haven't been paying attention to the things that are going on in the Wells Island, which, let's be honest, I feel like it's likely an island in the middle of a swamp. I just when I think it's going to be I've seen the craziest thing, right? Or the most shocking thing, or I feel like the dumpster fire is starting to go down, and it's calming down a little bit, right? Boom. There's another eruption, and I just am, shaking my head, and I just can't, I cannot wrap my head around that one. And I've thought about maybe talking about it just a little bit, but then I was like, no, because I don't know if you guys were in here the night that I had Molson Man on my panel, which was so much fun. I always love having Molson Man up. We were discussing, just different cases and the YouTubes and stuff like that. And thank you, Anaphylaxis. That's so sweet of you. I understand that her case, her case, Summer Wells, is so important for people. The information, her picture, her name should be out there. It should be shared, right? I get it. We all want her to come home. We all want her to be found. We all want a happy ending to this. And I totally get that. I want it too. I feel that there's a very, very fine line, and it can be blurred, and it's easily blurred. Sometimes without the creator realizing even that the line has become blurred between reporting on a case and what's the word I'm looking for? Not influencing a case, intervening in a case, because obviously, as it's an open case, and there's many open cases, right? And we are, as the public, and even us on social media, who are really adept at knowing where to look for certain things, knowing how to go through somebody's social media, and the clues that are not always, they're obvious to probably law enforcement, but maybe to the casual observer wouldn't know how to proficiently, for lack of a better word, stalk somebody's social media. Okay. I know that all intruding, there you go. That's the word I was looking for, Amelia. Intruding. Yes. And that's the word. Thank you very much. Spinning is also another good word for it. Cement. But anyway, so we're very good. We're very adept at that, right? But we're not, it's what makes open cases uniquely difficult is that there's only so much that information that the public is going to be given. And what I have seen happen in so many open cases is we are also, like I said, so adept at, I don't know how else you would say it, but stalking social media profiles. We know how to stalk the Twitters. We know how to stalk the Gram. We know how to stalk the TikTok. We know how to stalk Facebook, YouTube, all the things, heck, even Tumblr. All right. But to take that knowledge and that information that you would glean from social media accounts, I have seen where that information then becomes warped and has become twisted, and then there's finger pointing, and then boom, dumpster fire. So I this is why for me, I try, like, I will discuss it, but as far as like researching it and investigating an open case, I feel like I don't think it's my place, and I'm not downing anybody else who wants to do that. That's why YouTube is available to everybody. It's a personal choice for me. Although I will say that there are a lot of creators that are covering a lot of open cases right now that are, ongoing and whatnot. And I've learned a lot of things from the case. So it is what it is. But there has been Team Psych Ward a lot, a lot. And, I just think that I feel like for the most part, everybody's heart and intentions are in the right place. But for me personally, I would never want to inadvertently do something that would jeopardize the case going forward. And I always, I just always think that way. And I just, because you never know, the public doesn't know what the police know. We only know what they let us know they know. Does that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Her case is particularly heartbreaking, not just because it was heartbreaking to begin with. She's 5. She's a little girl. She got, so much life ahead of her, right? So, we have her potential. We have no idea what, she is going to grow up to be. And it's heartbreaking. But I find that, oh, thank you, Molson Man. Thank you so much. So sweet of you. I find that what's happened with Summer Wells is that her story has been lost a little bit in all of this. And I don't think that it's being done intentionally. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of stuff that has happened that you can't help but be, jaw on the floor. What, Amy? No, I had not heard that. Wow. Where did you like give where did you hear about this, and do you have any more information? Because I mean, I suppose I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I guess I'd have to know more about the documentary itself. You know what I mean? Before I could I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. It's interesting though. It does kind of seem soon, relatively speaking. I mean, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that. So yeah, I don't think it's being done intentionally. I don't think that what's happening is exactly cement shoes, perfectly put. And yes, exactly right. And I feel like I don't think that it's intentional, but I feel like what it's difficult to ooh, I have the Peacock Network. Look at me. I can't even finish a sentence. I have the Peacock Network. I will be on the Peacock Net. I'm looking it up. Not right this second, because I cannot be just any more distracted. If I have one more tab open, this live is going straight down the tubes. It's going to be even more unorganized than it is right now. But yeah, I just feel like yes, Molson Man. It's just sad that it's that that it's been lost. Her part of the story has been lost, and it's just, it breaks my heart. But and I was on. I know you guys all are pretty. Most of you guys are pretty familiar with Alex Erickson, and she was doing a live earlier today, and one of her mods, I believe it's a mod. I know that she also has a channel, TCA, has a family friend who has been missing since the 80s. And she is supposed to, I think either Alex is going to put something on her community post, or that can be shared. And however it works out, I will definitely share it out. And I hope you guys will share it out so we can get this family some resolution. And yeah, it's awful. Oh, no, Amy, you're fine. We're just sort of, oh, cement shoes. Let me tell you about Peacock. Okay. I'm not paid by Peacock either, but I wouldn't mind. Okay, so here's the deal. Peacock is sort of like, it is an app. It's a streaming service, and it's Peacock for NBC. So it has a lot of but it doesn't have just shows that were on NBC, because they've got every episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, and I know for a fact that that show used to come on CBS. But they've got a ton of new shows, original content, movies. Halloween Kills is on there, and it's exclusively streaming to Peacock unless you want to go see it in the movies. It's actually a really good channel. It's got a lot of, or a streaming service. It's actually got a lot of really good stuff. The only drawback is this. So there's like, I think 3 levels. I feel like 3 levels. Two of them. So the first one is like the least expensive one, and it's full of commercials. And then the second one, I know how you feel about that, Molson Man, but remember, we've talked about this. You've got to keep in mind that it is the middle of the story, right? So you have to, you have the build up, which is the beginning of a story, then it plateaus out. Well, the characters get more, you get more familiar, the characters are filled out more, their relationships with each other, and then boom, the end. Gets the climax. So it's always that way with the trilogy. But I mean, honestly, but anyway, so like, if you're going to watch, well, I will say about Peacock, that's good. Okay. So yeah, there's commercials, but it's not like regular TV where there's like 42 minutes of show and, the rest of the hour is commercials. It's not like that. When you watch a movie, what I like is that you get to watch all the commercials right up front in the beginning, right? So what I do is I don't be watching those commercials. I put it on, and then I go busy myself preparing to watch the movie. And it's just enough time to get a drink, have a cig, and make a snack. Perfect. I feel like, Amy, I think 3 tiers is right. Ooh. Now, Molson Man, is that going to be streaming, or is it only going to be in theaters? And also, just while we're talking about like TV shows and movies and whatnot, I'm looking forward to the next installation of The Matrix. Thank you, Amelia. I like to be keeping it real. That's just how I roll. Snacks is important. So is having a cigarette if you're a smoker, because Jen don't judge. I don't care what you smoke. Anyway, so I'm excited for the new thing from The Matrix coming out, the new one, the newest part of the story. But also on New Year's Day on HBO Max is, oh God, I'm going to get it wrong. It's Harry Potter and it's Return to Hogwarts. And I am so excited for that. I cannot wait because I'm a big old huge Harry Potter nerd and I love it. And I've been watching the game show, I guess it is on is it TBS or TNT? I can't remember, but anyway, it's like the house they battle or whatever, and it's trivia, obviously. And I got to say, you got to be like it's not enough for you to have watched the movies, although it helps. You have to have read the books because some of these questions that they ask are super like it's real. Some of them are really obscure, and you wouldn't get it from just the movie. You'd have to have read the books, which I did. I read them while I was pregnant with my youngest daughters. Okay, like Shamita, we've talked about this. As soon as the Canadas allows travel freely, right? No quarantine and all that, right? You're going to come down from the Canadas to the Floridas and just plan to spend a week. I'm not exactly sure what it is that they intend to do, Sam, because all I saw was the trailer for it, and it's not even like a legitimate trailer. It just lists like the cast members and then it scrolls through that, and then boom, it's Return to Hogwarts, and then the day, which is New Year's Day. So so the new Harry Potter, well, it's not really Harry Potter, but the Fantastic Beasts series. I don't know exactly what's going on with that because there was, as you know, a kerfuffle with Johnny Depp um, playing Grimwald. And he was wrongly, in my opinion, accused and tried in the public. And I don't know what the status is with that. At one point, he had been basically fired from doing the movie, but I'm hoping they will fix that, right the wrong, bring him back, and so maybe that's why it's taking so long because it should have been out by now, but of course all the stuff. So I watched Scream 4 and I wasn't a fan. Oh my gosh. You guys, what do you mean you haven't seen all the Harry Potters? They're good. They are. The books are better, I'm not even gonna lie. So if you like to read the books if you don't want to watch the movies. Molson, man, I feel like it is your kind of thing. You just don't know that it's your kind of thing yet. You know? It's like a new food. You don't know that if you like it or not unless you try it. So, oh, I gotta come. I gotta come. Okay. I'll tell you why I didn't like Scream 4. And this is petty. Y'all about to see how petty Jen Lu can be. I do not care for Emma Roberts. I don't like to watch her. This may or may not have something to do with the fact that at one point she was with my boyfriend Evan Peters and called herself his girlfriend. But no, I just wasn't a fan of it. I love Wes Craven, and I don't know what happened in number 4. I just don't feel. I just didn't like it. Just wasn't my thing. Oh my goodness, December 17th. Today's the 14th. That's 3 days from now. Wow. I don't like her. The friendship door. I'm sorry, Emma Roberts. I know that you were maybe considering sending Jen Lu a friend request, but let me save you the trouble, girl. The friendship door is closed. Not a fan. Just not a fan. Well, your wife is smart, Molson Man, because I'm just, I just didn't, I just didn't care about her. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I just didn't care about her in that movie. I just didn't. I didn't. I just, just not a fan. I can't believe already I can't believe already that it's going to be out already. Like this happened at the beginning of September. I feel like we didn't know anything until what, October. It's been 2 months. Amen, Amelia. Evan Peters for life. Adore him. I adore him. Just absolutely adore him. He's a good actor. He it is what it is. Just not a fan. I Something about 4. I guess because I'll say this too. Since there was some time obviously between 3 and 4, right? And I was very excited for 4. Very, very excited. Okay. Maybe, to be fair, maybe I built it up too much in my head and it was destined to fall short. And maybe that's my fault. Yes, cement shoes. That's me either. 2 thumbs down. And no, he cannot do any wrong. Bless his sweetheart. Oh yes, Sam. We should do that. That should be something we do one night. Well, let's me and you like watch Rosemary's Baby, right? And together, and you point it all out to me, and then maybe we'll do a show or something. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm just not a fan of hers. And I just felt like let me just say this. I'm sorry, Wes Craven, but I felt let down by Scream 4. And that's just the truth. So I'm hoping that Scream 5 will be better. So yeah. We should totally do that. What else is upcoming? So um I don't know how to do a poll. Shmita, you know how to do a poll? Maybe we could do a poll and find out who is going to watch this documentary on Gabby Petito, and then maybe we'll all schedule a date, give everybody time to watch it, and then perhaps discuss. We could do that one night. Something just, yeah, she's Eric Roberts. Isn't that it's his daughter, isn't it? Or is he a cousin too? I can't remember how it is. But yeah, do you know how to do a poll, Shamita? See, I think I do have members only. December 17th, Team Psych Ward. We could we'll figure it out. We've got time. I mean, there's a lot of like we have got a lot of holiday coming up, right? There's going to be Christmas and all that business. I like Eric Roberts too. There's Christmas and all that implies, and then New Year's and all that implies. So we're getting, I feel like maybe I can offer Peacock Team Psych where it's going to stream on Peacock. maybe we can band together and have like a little refuge, from the holidays, as it were, just a little meeting, a little gathering place. If you guys were Harry Potter fans, you would understand me saying something like when they met with the Order of the Phoenix and the room of requirement, something simple like that. And have a little, you know, refuge from the holidays. What do you, Shmita? You're my Shmita. What do you mean? I don't know how to do a poll either. Let me see. There must be a way. Oh, I bet I have to do it through like I have to go on YouTube. Hold on. Let me open up a tab. Ooh, I found it. Oh, I probably should learn how to type a little better. That's full of typos. I feel like I found it. All right, here we go. Look at me. I so smarts. Like a panel debate, like for what? Like on I had to go away from the chat, even though I was actually on my own YouTube, right? Like, so I should be seeing the chat because it was there. I was too focused on doing the poll, so I don't know what we're gonna debate. But I always love a debate, like Animal House, cement shoes. Yes, 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 yes. Hi, Yashmita. Did the poll happen or no? Let me see. Wait, I guess it didn't happen. Oh, wait, yeah, there it is. How come I don't see it? Okay, so most of you guys are going to watch it. Okay. So, we could, Molson Man, we could absolutely do that. Like, maybe we don't have to all the time talk about true crime. As much as I love true crime, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to talk about some other things. So maybe we should start having like, a few nights where we just I don't know what happened to it. I saw it. Hold on, let me see what let me click it. Let me see what I can do with it. It only lets me end a poll. Maybe I have to put it hold on live chat. I never come in this way. So weird. Yeah, we should have like a night. I don't know what happened to the poll. I don't know how to work this thing. I'm fixing to end this poll since it's so frustrating. All right. So, but maybe we should like have, at least a night, maybe two if we need to, but at least a night where we just kick it, where we talk about horror movies, uh, just random everyday, you know, I don't want to go so far as to say Netflix and chill because that means different things to different people, but something like that where we can just, you know, commiserate, is that the right word? And like just chat about just different everyday random stuff. You know, I'm always down for good conversation. So I think we should totally do that. So maybe what we'll do is let's get through these holidays. Okay. We're rounding the corner. Today's almost over. It's like 9:23 where I am. Okay. So we're dark. December 14th is almost to the past, December 15th. And after that, it's 10 days till Christmas. So we're basically got this whole holiday, got 17 more days of the holiday spirit. And then we're, you know, so we'll just figure it out. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just pop in and be like, hey, something. We will definitely figure out how we can do this because we definitely need to do it. And somebody's got to hit me up in the emails. It's on my about section and explain how we could do a watch party because you know how the YouTubes be. They like to, you know, I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, we could do something like that. Well, that's true, Molson, man. We do. I'm okay. Yeah, it's very little shopping days left. Yeah, it's 10 days, 10 days for the most part until Christmas. That's how I feel, Shmita. I don't even have my tree up, y'all. Every weekend since Thanksgiving, my daughter and I are like, okay, well, maybe you want to do the tree? And she'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, let me, do whatever else I got to do around the house and we'll do the tree. Then she'll come to me and she'll be like, hey, can I go to so-and-so's house? Hey, can I go, can I go do this? Can I go do that? And I'm, I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm having I'm not a Scrooge. I'm not there. Okay, cement. All right, that's what we'll do. So, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so I'm not like at a Scrooge level. Like I'm not dreading Christmas. I'm not like that. I'm just like, first of all, it's difficult to feel like it's Christmas time when it's, 75 degrees out. And that is one thing about living here that I've not quite gotten used to. Shmita, am I boring you? But it's, yeah, I just, it is what it is. I'm not, but it's different that the house, I only have the one little birdie left and she's like got 1 foot out of the nest. Let's be honest. She's probably got like 1.5 feet out of the nest. She's probably got like a pinky toe left in the nest. And, so it, it's different. I know, Molson, man. I definitely need to get this tree up. Like, this is ridiculous. I used to be crazy about, I'm telling you, after the dishes were done on Thanksgiving, I was like, boom, Christmas tree up. But, see, now that actually kind of sounds fun, cement shoes, honestly. So, wow, Amelia. See, my kids are all grown-ups now, and I don't know. It just feels it's just a little different, except for the one little birdie. But this little birdie is 16 going on 30. So, yeah, that's how it is. But I do have two grandchildren. I've got a little granddaughter. And then I've got my oldest son, his wife is pregnant and we don't know what she's having, but it's very early, but I'm very, very excited. I don't feel grandmother I don't even know if that's a word. I don't know what none of the grandmas I'm familiar with act like I do, but maybe I'm just going to set the trend, be my own brand of grandmother. So, got big shoes to fill though. I had a great nana. So, I am. I know. I'm getting up there. Okay, like I don't even like to say this out loud, but it's an accomplishment. I'm 44 years old. I'll be 45 at the end of January. And let me tell you how old I feel. Like emotionally, I feel like 21. Definitely old enough to drink, even though I don't drink very often. I like knowing that I can drink. But some days physically I feel significantly older excuse me than I know, Sam. I know. Yeah. So, see, you know how it is. Like 45, it's crazy. It's weird to be in your 40s. Okay. There's like this whole situation when you're 40s that they don't really like. Uh, I know I'm going to be the best baka. They're going to call me Nana. I'm going to go by Nana. But anyway, so, it's weird, like what they don't tell you about your 40s. For example, when I turned in my 40s, in my 30s, I used to be able to like go to bed and wake up and be fine. I don't understand how you go to bed and it takes me forever to get to sleep now, right? Toss and turn. Then I finally get to sleep. And when I wake up, see, Molson, man, you and I think our birthdays must be close because I'll be 45 in 2022. But anyway, you wake up in pain. It feels like I've played at least 37 rounds of Mortal Kombat in my sleep, maybe even some Street Fighter 2 in there. Like I feel like I did something in my sleep that I know I didn't do. I wake up sore. How does that happen? Sore for no reason, too. And I don't smoke in the house. So let's go on a little adventure. We're all going to go to the backyard. Come along. So yeah, there are new things happening, and there are new things that happen to you when you hit your 40s that were not described in the brochure, or if they were, I didn't read that page. I'm saying that either it's not in there or it's very fine print, which also that's another thing. Hey, Dr. B, that they don't tell you about either. Don't look. Try not to look at fine print because you won't be able to see it. It's very embarrassing. So I guess that's so yeah, see that's how I feel, cement shoes. I feel like I just went 12 rounds with oh God, what is his name? Shang Tsung. And now my soul is his because I did not win. Yeah. So I'm they don't tell you about that crap in the brochure. It's just ridiculous. I don't really appreciate it. You are not ancient, Sam. I'm so glad you made it, Dr. B. We were talking about all kinds of things and about like what's coming upcoming for the channel and Ghislaine Maxwell and Sam doing the putting the pieces all together, and then we decided that we're going to have just like a night where we just kick it and just talk about various things and not only true crime all the time, you know? It's a little heavy to do it all the time. So, yeah. What a day, what a day, what a day. So yeah, that's all the crap that they don't tell you about. So for any okay. So Amy, now listen, babe. Be taking notes right now and be keeping these little words of wisdom in the back of your mind, because it's a little different for us girls being 40 than it is for the men's. But this is the stuff either that they don't tell you about. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's not in the brochure completely, or if it's the fine print but you can't read it because your eyesight is starting to fail. Like you need I I need readers. Very embarrassing. They don't tell you about that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's what we're just going to kick it. Right, but it's Shang Tsung that steals your soul, right? Yeah. Yes, Molson man. That's the other part in the brochure that they I don't know if the pages were stuck together, but they don't tell you all the things about that either, and it's terrible. It's a nightmare. It's hard to be a woman. Makes me want to sing that song. So yeah. Is everybody are you all staying like home for the holidays, or is anybody traveling? Are they being like, what's the if you're traveling, what's the situation with that? Like, what's it like at the airports? Because I don't know how it is other places. I know where I am at the Tampa airport is, excuse me, the closest one to me, and I feel like I don't notice a difference in what um you like the restrictions are in Florida versus the other rest of the country. See, I'm not going anywhere either. Cement shoes. I don't want to go anywhere. Okay, that's not true. I would like to go home to Texas for the holidays. It's just that this is the deal. I have a granddaughter, and to travel to in a vehicle, right, from Texas or from Florida to Texas is forever. Okay, I don't even know what the hours of drive time is for reals. I don't. I have no idea, but it's forever because Texas is in the middle. And I know this from looking at the map that Texas is in the middle and Florida is on the end, and it's forever away, right? So there's no way that I'm going to do that, that I'm going to do that in a drive in a vehicle. I would not drive that. But at the same time, then that leaves flying, right? Because I haven't, mastered apparition yet. So I have to actually get into a plane and travel, which means being around humans, which I could deal with, but humans have germs, and I would feel so horrible and guilty if I brought some weird cootie from the plane, to my grandbaby. Okay, but to be fair, Dr. B, she well, I mean that is a lot. She did a lot. So you have to work Christmas Eve, Sugar Beet. Oh no. Well, that's a bummer. I don't think they should make people work. Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, I don't know how she made. That's a crazy drive. Look, because she must have. She had to cut through the panhandle of Texas because that makes sense. She wouldn't. I don't feel like she would have to go through the middle of Texas to get to Florida. That's not the hard part of the drive through Texas. That middle part, the DFW area, it's like crazy. I I remember when I used to go from Texas back to Arizona, which is where I was born, and I have a lot of family there. And the majority of the drive, it's like an 18-hour drive. 12 of those hours is getting out of Texas. So yeah, yeah. At least you don't have to go. She was doing too much, and I don't want airport cooties. I need to check and see if there's any updates on Leticia Stout and see what's going on with her. Since we know we got a ways to wait for the Vallow Daybell. But Leticia's court date her trial should be coming up any time now, right? Should be pretty soon. Oh, see, I don't mind. The flying is not, I don't mind flying, really. I actually would prefer to fly. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I can't do long car rides. I just can't be cooped up in a confined space for too long. I wonder how they're going to do that with her because, there's, they don't, so when you're on trial or whatever, and I remember this, I have to go back to the West Memphis 3, but I'll tell you about this. So, but when they were preparing to try Jesse Misskelley, right? So the judge was there, the lawyers were there, the prosecutor were there, and they were discussing what they were going to do for security because obviously, right, this is the very emotional case. So they're talking about it. Cement shoes. So they're discussing how they're going to pull this off and whatnot, right? Okay. Well, they're going back and forth, and Dan Stidham pipes up and he says, I just don't want anybody to be under the impression that my client is this dangerous guy, and if he's got two guards by him, two big, two armed officers by him, that's the impression that the court will get, or that the jury will get of my client. And so I'm curious how they will handle her, because I also remember from the Nicholas Godejohn trial that he wasn't a behavior issue, but if I'm remembering correctly, the way they handled his was he was in the courtroom before the jurors were seated. And I think that's how most trials go, so that the jury doesn't see the defendant being brought in shackles or handcuffs or whatever. So yeah, anyways, it would be not gonna lie. Okay, I'm all like, me, I'm all for the procedure, and I love the procedure of the courtroom, right? But low key, it would be hilarious to see her wheeled in on a Hannibal Lecter board with the whole mask and everything. That'd be hilarious. Hold on a second. So yeah, that would be definitely be priceless to see something like that. Yeah. What's Sam? So that not Vallow. Stout has been pushed back again. I know Vallow is 2023. I was so upset, and well, Dr. B's the one that told me, and I was very upset. Like I was upset on the live. Everybody heard me be upset, but like that was after I'd had an opportunity to process somewhat and like calm down and not be as agitated about it. I was can't even. I sent a GIF. I remember that. I was so annoyed because I felt like it was ridiculous. Like, why would they, push it back so far? Like, I don't understand, but whatever. Obviously, she and Chad have waived their right to a speedy trial because nobody can say that's speedy. Yeah, so yeah, let's talk about Robert Durst, which, hey, Dr. B, I'm going to put the link in chat. You want to come up and we can talk about Durst? Because I know you liked it. Well, go. I put the link in the, but if anybody else wants to come up too, I'll put it in the, I'll put it in here. If I put it in through, you guys can click it, right? I'm going to put it in here. Oh, I can't tell. You guys can click that link, right? All right, yay, 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 yay. All right, you come up. I'm gonna switch. off of my phone back to the computer. Just give me a sec. All right, let me remove this Genlu. We don't need to. So, yeah. Okay, now let me go look at, I want to see, make sure that you guys can click that link if you want to in StreamYard. Yeah, so Robert Durst, man, he's something else, isn't he? So the last time that I had seen Robert Durst, I did see a few of his, like, pre-trial appearances and whatnot, but nothing prepared me for the actual trial and how sickly he looked. And I have to say that I was, oh my God, I didn't mean to click it. Hey, Dr. B, what you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm not echoing or anything,
No,
right?
no, babe, you're fine. You're fine. Totally fine. We'll talk. Let me see. Oh,
Hi.
there is a little echo.
Oh, there. Okay. See, I need to find headphones. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so when I saw him in the courtroom, I wasn't quite prepared for how sick he was. And not only that, I was cement. I was shocked that he took the stand because, okay, so I thought about it, right? And I realized that it worked. On the one hand, I understood it, and the other hand, I was shocked, right? Because like I understood that it worked for him when he was on trial in Texas, okay? But Bob Robert Durst had a few things going for him in Texas in that trial with Maurice that he didn't have this time around. One of the things that he had going for him is that Texas is a stand your ground state, okay? And Texas does believe very firmly in being able to defend yourself with the use of deadly force if necessary, right? So he had that going for him. And the other thing that he had going for him was the fact that they were able to bring witnesses to testify about Maurice Black's, hey babe, personality. And he was like not a very sympathetic victim. And he had that going for him. So I, but that was definitely not the case in this trial. So I was like, I couldn't believe the audacity of him. And then, well, you talk, Dr. B, because I've been talking. I'm already tired of my own self.
I missed because I was switching devices, so I missed what you were saying.
Just that, like, I was surprised that he testified this time because,
Durst.
Yeah, Durst, just because, like, you know, he didn't have the same things on his side in a way that he, you know, when he testified in Texas, the first being that Texas is a stand your ground state, you know, and Texas does, you know, believe in being able to defend yourself with the use of deadly force, right? And on top of then also they were able to bring in those witnesses that talked about it's Maurice Black, right? Is that his name? Why am I drunk?
Yeah,
Morris. It's Morris. I thought it was Maurice. Okay. Morris Black. And his personality, and that he was confrontational, and that he was likely shaking Durst down and whatnot. But I just didn't feel like he was an unsympathetic victim. But that wasn't the case, and that wasn't the situation this time around. And so I was just so um shocked. So Amelia Sparks, Robert Durst is the go ahead, Dr. B, you tell it.
Good old Bobby Durst.
Yes.
So Bobby Durst is a like multi-millionaire, basically. And the way that he got to the money is he comes from a family of money. So he was part of his father's business, but he was kind of like the black sheep in the family. He's very detached. He almost exhibits autism-like symptoms in the social sphere, where he's not really socially smooth, so to say. So he where do you start with good old Bobby? So his first wife went missing and was never found. And she was at the time a medical student. She's presumed to be dead. Well, obviously, he was just convicted for her murder. But after his wife went missing, next was Morris Black, right, Jen?
Yes.
Yes, I think they were like looking for him to question him in his wife's disappearance, and he fled. He went to Houston, Texas, and he altered his appearance to make him look like a woman, and he rented an apartment, paid for it like for a year in advance. So the landlord really liked him because of that. And his next door neighbor was Morris Black. And Morris Black ended up being found dismembered, in Galveston in the water. And
Galveston. I don't know why I said Houston. Sorry.
Yeah.
My brain isn't firing on all
but it's pretty close, because I used to live in Houston for like 4 months. And I remember like driving down to Galveston.
Yeah, it's not that far. Yeah. Well, obviously. But yeah, it's not that far. But it's still. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, so he dismembered Morris Black. He was discovered, obviously, and he went to trial. And the initial strategy was to claim insanity, which is what his father's lawyers wanted him to do. And his wife at the time...
No, wait. You got to tell the other part. Before the trial, where he jumped bail and went on the run and got caught because he stole a sandwich from like a grocery store. So, yeah. Yeah,
that's right.
Robert.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Robert Durst is like,
he just gives no F's.
No F's ever. Like he was born not giving any F's. Like that's just who he is.
Negative. Yes. Correct. Like no, like negative F's. Yes. So the way that the detective in Texas described it, he said, they arrested Robert Durst on first-degree murder, and as the detective was taking him to the county jail to be booked in, Bobby Durst was like, well, shit, what do I do now? how do I get out of here? Because obviously he had that entitled mentality that you can pretty much get away with anything. Mm-hmm. So the bail was set at like $2 million, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it was a substantial bail.
Yeah, and it was a cash bail. So so Bobby was like, oh, okay.
So he calls up his wife, because he's remarried at this time. He calls up his wife and makes the arrangements, and boom, he's out. And then he went on the run like a maniac. And got caught stealing. I feel like the sandwich was like $3.25. This fool had $500 in cash. Something astronomical like that, yes. Something crazy, a crazy amount of cash on him to be shoplifting.
That's right, cement shoes. Yes, the bail
Mm-hmm.
was 250,000. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
detective asked him, "Well, do you have 250,000?" And Bobby said, "Well, not on me." But he did. But
Where us regular folks would be 250,000. I got a kidney I could sell.
right. So anyway, so he went to trial for the murder of more. Yes, he ended up dumping his dad's law firm, and he listened to his wife at the time, and took on a different. He basically found two of the top criminal defense lawyers in the country and hired them to put
Mm-hmm.
together a self-defense case for him, and they
Mm-hmm.
did, and he was
Mm-hmm.
acquitted. So
Yeah.
in
And
the
that was even like even that was an issue because um they so there was his wife had one idea about who should be representing him, right? And Bobby sort of agreed with her, but the Durst family had their own idea, and Robert and you could, there it's in the Jinx. If you watch the Jinx, it's on HBO. I'm sure you can find it on the net, but um, there was a lot of back and forth about um, using the lawyers that the family wanted because his wife felt like um, it would be a setup. They wouldn't really be working for Bobby's best interest. They would be working for the family, and his brother was sort of tired of his shenanigans and had had enough. And so, yeah, it was a big mess.
yeah, so well, he
This
was
is
acquitted of
not
it, and
going.
so he
Yeah, he
walked.
was. He did. He did.
And then his best friend Susan
Berman.
wait
Berman.
Berman.
Berman. Hmm.
Yes, so she was his best friend, and she was kind of like his partner in crime too. It's
Hmm.
believed that she had a lot of knowledge about his first wife going missing, and I think like a week before she was to be interviewed by detectives, she was found dead in her apartment or in her house, and there was a letter that was sent to the police that said just the word cadaver and Susan's address. And the envelope, uh, well, actually, the Beverly Hills was misspelled. And the police didn't have any leads. They kind of suspected him. But then during the documentary, um, what was the guy's name? Jarecki? He's the director of the
Yeah.
documentary.
Yeah.
Andrew Jarecki.
They met with Susan Berman's son, and there were letters that he showed. Um,
That Bobby wrote to
yeah,
Susan.
that Bobby had written to Susan, and that is so. Okay, now we're to the back to Jarecki. Please take it away, Dr. B.
Yes, so Jarecki talked to Susan's son. He brought out a box full of old letters, and he found a letter from Bobby Durst to Susan that was written like much before the murders. And the address was like, first of all, the handwriting was like identical, and the spelling was all like the spelling mistake was also identical. So he misspelled Beverly Hills twice in the same manner. So the final episode of The Jinx, he's confronted with the two writing samples, and well, first, I think Andrew Jarecki did a brilliant job in questioning Bobby Durst about the letter,
Mm-hmm.
and who the letter specifically that was left at Susan's house. And Durst said, "Oh yeah, no one else but the killer could have written that, right?"
Right.
So then in the next interview, he confronts him with side by side comparisons of the police note and the envelope that they found at Susan, or from Susan's son. And
Mm-hmm.
Jarecki asked him, "Okay, so which one of these did you write?" And good old you know, Bobby started belching and burping and twitching and
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy stuff. And then and yeah, and basically
Well, then
had
he
a hot
excused himself to
hmm
go to the bathroom after all the burping, right? All the belch, and then this homeboy is a millionaire, okay? And they they pack him like a snack bag to go with all the sandwiches left over. And he goes into the bathroom and go ahead, Dr. V.
Yeah, he had the mic still on. So while he's in the bathroom, he's kind of like talking himself through what just happened
Yes, like
out
totally having a
loud,
conversation with
out
himself,
loud.
answer and asking himself questions and answering himself. See, it's okay to talk to yourself, right? But it gets a little dicey when you start answering yourself. That's the problem.
Right. So he said something along the lines of, "Well, what did you do? Killed them all, of course."
Exactly.
Oh, Bobby.
But you guys seriously have to check out this documentary
It is
because
brilliant.
it's brilliant, and you you have to witness what is Robert Bobby Durst for yourselves. It's not something that can be adequately described by another human being. You won't get the full effect of Robert Durst in all his flat effect
Yes.
if you don't watch. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. So, as a result of the documentary and this confrontation, the state of California starts to build a case against him.
Hmm.
And then they arrest him and bring him in. And his trial just wrapped up a couple of months ago, actually.
Hmm.
And he was found guilty of the murders of both his first wife and his friend, Susan Berman. And obviously, he couldn't be found guilty for the murder of Robert Morris or Morris Black. I don't know why I said Robert Morris. I don't even know what that means.
Well, he wasn't okay. So he wasn't actually. He's never been charged with Kathleen Durst because this trial took place in California. But what they did do during the trial was introduce and talk a lot about
The
Kathleen.
circumstances of
And
her.
the reason they did that is because it is believed that Susan was his vault,
Mm-hmm.
and that in the end she was trying to shake him down. She was trying to get money out of him, and that is why he killed her.
Right.
So yeah, it was.
And there were financial records that
Hmm.
um, he was giving Susan a lot of money over the
Hmm.
course of the years. So they were thinking that he was kind of, yeah, like you said, that he was kind of like paying for her to keep silent. So
Hmm. And
finally, when when she decided that she would meet with detectives, that's when she was killed.
hmm because she was so her father was, I guess,
A mobster, right?
well, I don't know that he was complete. I don't think he was himself a mobster, but I think he cooked books for mobsters in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote about him. Susan wrote a book about her father, and Robert and Susan had gone to college together. That's how they met. They were besties. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of Susan's life, before she was murdered, she was going through some financial constraints, and also she had been the one who it is suspected that in Kathleen Durst's disappearance, she was a medical student, and it is suspected that the day that Kathleen went missing, there was a phone
Oh,
call
that's right. I forgot about that.
to the intern office, the resident's office, and she was basically calling in sick. And it is presumed that Susan Berman is the person who made that call. And then, while all of this was going on with Kathleen's disappearance, Susan also acted as like a spokesperson for Robert Durst, and she handled the press. And she'd become very adept at dodging the detectives because they had always wanted to talk to her. Janine Pirro is the one that kicked it off, which is what caused Robert to leave New York and then go to Texas in the first place. But they were always trying to get to talk to Susan, but I can't remember what it ended up being that compelled Susan to end up saying that she ended up agreeing to speak with detectives. I can't remember what it was, but she'd been avoiding it. So it's crazy.
Well, I think he stopped financing her,
Mm-hmm.
which is what they
No,
were
that's true.
speculating was
Yeah.
the motive, kind of. But yeah. But
Mhm.
yes, there is, Amelia, if you don't have HBO, there is a website. I think it's called like Watch Free Documentaries or something like that. I don't know. It's probably like not even legal, but that's where I found it.
I get HBO Max with my cable provider. So but I've watched The Jinx, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 times at least. I'm fascinated by his case. Like just all of it. All
Yeah.
of it. You just hit up the Googles, Amelia. They're excellent. They'll direct you exactly where to go. That's how I found Casualties of Love. The story of Amy Fisher, because that's the case I'm talking about tomorrow night, Dr. B.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Well, the Jinx is actually, that documentary is actually what inspired my Courtney Love documentary that I'm working on. So I'm like,
we frequently speak to each other in Robert Durst gifts because it's just so if you haven't watched The Jinx and you start watching it, you're going to reflect back on this conversation that Dr. B and I are having right now, and it's going to click, and you're going to understand why sometimes we communicate with each other using only Robert Durst gifts because
oh,
you'll get it. You will get it. I promise. It was a good
here
movie.
he is.
It was a good documentary.
Even his face is just like, I don't care.
I don't care. What are you really going to do to me? I don't even want to be here. Like, and the thing is that like, he's not a bad looking guy, but
He's
a lot, and he
GTS.
is the antithesis of everything. Yeah, I call it. I either say GTS or I say the Googles, or if I'm in with fancy people, then I will say I hit up the Google. That's another thing that I say. I try to be fancy.
Well, here's the thing with Bobby Durst and the trial. So he, if you see him in the trial, he looks like he's 873 years old.
He does. He looks like Gandalf after he stopped being Gandalf and came back as the White Wizard. That's what he friggin' looks like. Like he's seen some shit. Like I'm not even gonna lie.
Yes.
Oh.
And then, and of course, he does have a lot of like medical conditions, that's true,
Right.
but there's also a little bit of added on for effect for the
Correct.
jury.
For the yeah, there's a little acting done, and then but plus, if I'm not mistaken, due to the jumping bail incident in Texas, he was not granted bail in California, and therefore was remanded to the LA County Jail, I think, while he awaited trial. So listen, being in the county, I don't even give a rat's fat kneecap what county it is. The county jail, any place, it will age you. So there's
So
some of that
then,
too.
so then he, of course, went into great depth and detail about all of the surgical procedures that he had to undergo. One of them being he had esophagus cancer.
Hmm.
So he had to have some sort of surgery where he so kindly described to us what was done. And
Mm.
basically, he said that they took his stomach, kind of, and like pulled it up all the way to his throat because they had to take that part out due to the cancer, which is why he explains that he talks the way he talks. But like Shmita was saying, she can't regulate her own breathing when she hears him talk because he
It's a
just
lot.
puts so much,
Yes.
and it's like
Yes.
forever to say something. And
It's
then
it's
when you think he's done, he's just taking a breath.
oh my god, you're making me choke. Let me push mute.
And then when you think he's done, really, he's just taking a breath so that he can finish his sentence while he's making up more bullshit.
Yes, yes, yes. And the thing is that while he's talking like this, he's like his face is expressionless. It's completely blank. I've never seen it ever in all my 44 years on this earth. I have never seen anybody have a constant, consistent, never changing blank face. I've never seen it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And we did talk about roasting, like probably like putting together the best of all of the
Yes.
different things that interviews that Robert Durst has given over the years and doing a roast. So that's definitely still on the agenda to do. But yeah.
Yes. There's also, oh man.
Oh, and All Good Things is on Prime, Amazon Prime, and it's got Kirsten Dunst and
Jake
Ryan
Gyllenhaal.
Gosling.
Oh,
No, it's
never
Ryan
mind.
Gosling.
They
Um,
all look the same to me.
okay, let me stop you right there because Ryan Gosling definitely does not look anything like Jake Gyllenhaal. Like Ryan Gosling's an all right looking dude. Jake Gyllenhaal is just, Jake Gyllenhaal. It is what it is. But anyway, it's loosely based on that is the movie that Andrew Jarecki
Direct.
directed, which what he wanted, his whole reason for interviewing Bob Durst was going to be for like the DVD. I've never actually put the second DVD in with the commentary because
Well,
I
no,
get
Jen,
just
this is how it went. The movie was released. It was a blockbuster. It was pretty
hmm
good. And Jarecki said that he wanted to put like humanity in Robert Durst, to show the human side of him. And I think that tickled Bobby's fancy because he wasn't used to being portrayed as human. So what he ended up doing,
look at Molson Man. Who is this guy? This is the Robert Bobby Durst.
yeah.
Bobby.
So what he ended up doing is he called up Andrew Jarecki
I
and
thought
was like,
Andrew called him though.
no, girl. He called Andrew and he was like, hey, Andrew, this is Bobby Durst. I saw your movie and I was wondering if you wanted to
Oh,
interview
you're
me.
right. You're right. And the interviews were then the interviews were going to be put on the DVD release for the commentary. That's what it was. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
But then that went.
But then that went all to
Oh,
hell, as so many things in Robert Bobby Durst's life has gone. Like
here's a
when
snippet from the trial.
you bet. Okay, yeah, don't play nothing that's gonna get me that I'm gonna have to write an email about.
No. It's not. It's
No,
that
just kidding.
I'm going to reenact it.
Okay. Please, everybody, quiet. Dr. B is going to give us one of her fantastic, dramatic reenactment.
Okay, so this is Mr. Durst on cross-examination. Actually, no, this isn't even on cross-examination. This is in the documentary, actually. See, I'm getting it all messed up. This is in the documentary. Jarecki asked him, why did you cut up the body? Like, why the dismemberment? And Bobby Durst, in the coolest voice ever, says, well, what was I going to do with him? Carry him outside? Put him in my trunk? I can't do that. So I thought I'll just cut him up.
And that is exactly how he said, well, I thought, because he's got like a kind of a gravelly voice, and then he's got the New York Upper East Side accent to it, And yeah, bless it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
it's brilliant. You really, 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 really have to watch the Jinx. In fact, this is an excellent idea for everybody. If your family is hassling you this holiday season, just tell them like you have homework to do. That you're very involved in the YouTubes. They won't get it because most people don't understand the YouTubes. They just think it's for music. They won't get it, but just tell them you're very deeply involved. Do you know how many things I got out of telling my mom, "Oh, Mom, I can't. I'm researching the West Memphis 3, and there's going to be a live chat. I can't." And she'd be like, "Okay, Jen." Every once in a while, she'd ask me, "Hey, Jen, are those boys free yet? Did you get those boys out yet, Mom? I'm not getting them out. Like, I'm not gonna, this is not just a Jen thing. There's a lot of people involved." She was really cute about it. So,
Oh,
did
Amy.
you get those boys out?
That's how it is with me too. When I need to get out and like my mom's like, okay, well, I just have a question for you. And I'm just like, I gotta go record. That's all I said. I gotta go record. And to her, that means like God knows what she's doing.
Yeah, my mom is just like, "Did you get those boys out yet, Jen? Did you get them out?" She was really supportive because you know what she would let me do? She would let me talk to the pathologists that she worked with, and I would ask them all kinds of questions.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, she was great like that. She really was. I miss my mom. I miss her every day. But I live vicariously through Baca. Baca's now become everybody's mom.
Yes.
We love Baca. So yeah.
Oh, this was fun.
It was.
I missed the first part because, I fell asleep.
I told you.
No, I mean,
I'll be
I
on
didn't
in an
even catch the
hour.
beginning. Like I fell
Yeah,
asleep before.
because I said I don't. It's fine. And let you hear, and that's what counts. We just been sort of kicking it. The story that I talked about was kind of a short one because not a lot's been known, but because of the way it ended, I'll tell you about it. But anyway, so then we just sort of had a casual conversation about. We covered a great many many topics. Talked
Yeah.
about West Memphis 3. We talked about the horror movies, of course. All kinds of stuff. It was great. We should do this more frequently. I think just these like not so. I like it less formal. I
Yeah.
think I was. I think I was trying to be too professional. Let's face it.
I mean, I was trying to tell you.
You should. I should have listened better. I should have been like, yeah, no, I can't. It's not. I'm not. I try, and I can be okay for a while, and then, and then I'm not. So, yeah.
Amelia, it was so good to chat with you.
It really was. You guys have been great. You really have. We got it. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to do this more frequently. Dr. B and I have been talking a lot. Moving
Yeah.
forward, what we want to do.
Well, and here's the thing, like we do have a lot of plans and we're still kind of
Mhm.
like shaping them and like just making them realistic because let's face it, like we could take over the world, but we're just gonna not be that greedy. So
Right. Y'all ain't ready.
yeah, let's just put it that way. But I'm
We're
currently
pacing
like
ourselves.
yeah, I'm currently like in the middle of like a transitional period in my life. So I'm kind of trying to figure some stuff out logistically with in terms of like finding a space where I can have that, whatever, not to get into
Hmm.
too many details, but I'm anticipating that, the year 2022 will be the year of the ward.
The year of the ward
Yes,
coming soon.
exactly. Exactly, Lamar.
Exactly, Lamar. Yes, cement shoes. I frequently answer people who say to me, "What are you doing tonight?" And I will say, the
Same
same
thing.
thing I do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Yes.
This is going to be the year of the word. We got a lot of stuff on deck and working. We're going to, work hard to make it realistic. And but you guys are really I think you guys are going to like it. I really do. I think you guys will be. Bye, Faraway Eyes. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I
Yes,
think you
good night.
guys. Yeah, you guys are gonna like it. I think it'll be
For
fun
sure.
for everybody. I think.
Yes, there will be a
So.
good mix of all kinds of stuff. I'm just so really I'm really excited.
Me
And I'm
too.
grateful that, that we do have this platform and that we have built our nice, awesome little community
Yes, you guys
of
are
like
all so
amazing
great.
people.
You guys are all so great. I mean, it's always good too. I like when you guys are in my chat, but I also really like seeing you around on the YouTube streets because it's, you guys are always just good people to chill and chat with, and it's nice. And I need to just let this trying to be professional or formal or whatever you want to call it, Amy, and just be me. I think I finally got comfortable and hit my stride a little bit, and now I'm like, why was I trying to be so serious? It's not. I'm not a because. Holy cow! Because I'm not like that. I mean, I can speak intelligently and all that stuff out. That's all great, but I have to be me. And so anyway.
Yeah, you have been though. Like I think you're a little critical of yourself because even if even when you're trying to be super professional, like you can't help but just be you.
I
And I
leak.
just love you.
Thank you. I love you too. I be leaking. Oh,
All right. Well, I'm gonna get off because I'm like
yeah. Thanks for coming up. I think I'm going to
sweating
end
and
this.
stuff.
Are you sweaty? I think I'm going to end this. And yes, Amy, I'll tell you what. I'm absolutely, positively, definitely going to watch that documentary on Peacock because I'm curious about it. And then we will definitely talk about it. I can't tell you exactly when we're going to talk about it, but be on the lookout. because we will talk about it. I promise. So thank you, Heather. Whatever. Yeah, I can't be. So the next
We still have
roast,
Courtney.
yeah, is we're gonna do part 2 of everybody's fave,
Favorite.
Courtney Love, and then
It's
because Luca Magnotta has been second like almost every time, and one of the people that I love the most on this planet is from the Canadas, and he is from the Canadas. We're going to do Luca Magnotta, and then I don't know what all. Then I don't know after that. That's as far out as I can plan.
yes, and I think yeah, Luca Magnotta has been second in his life a lot. It
A
seems
lot,
like so.
a lot, a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was so good to see everyone.
It
Thanks,
really
Jen, for
was.
having me.
You're having you, please. This is your. You're my other half. I couldn't not have you. Are you crazy? I don't know what I would do.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride for Luca
Poor
Magnotta.
Luca. Get him. There's another merch idea.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Dr. B. Thanks for coming up. I'll see
Yes.
y'all around these YouTube streets, and I'll see you tomorrow night when we cover the Long Island Lolita. All right. Boy.
Bye.